Hello everyone, welcome back to GGN. This is the third and final part for today for Friday, July 12th, 2013. We're going to cover eugenics, eco-terrorism, conspiracy theories in this last video. Interesting article I found from aircraft.org, and I mean, they're all about chemtrails or geoengineering. So I was kind of surprised by this article. I thought that they would kind of see through the Disinfo, but it says here, Snowden uncovers shocking truth behind chemtrails, so it sounds like a very intriguing thing, But it says here, according to Snowden, chemtrails are the only thing keeping the U.S. from global warming incineration, but at what price? So you've heard me say many times before, just based off their own basically information, they're going to cause warming. So by spraying this, they're causing warming. So I don't know why. Maybe he's just bought this. He thought he was into something that was truth, and it was just Disinfo within Disinfo. Or maybe he's not what we think he is, right? The glorious hacker or whatever, the savior. It says here, the hacker has come forward with the details of a classified project to alter the world climate. The shocking truth, as he says, is that chemtrails are part of the benevolent program aimed at countering global warming. Again, if this was benevolent, then why don't they tell people what they're doing? Oh, because they're too, they worried about the side effects of spraying metal particulates and nanoparticles and what they breathe in and kills crops and stuff like that, creates droughts and. This is the thing. It says that by cooperating in secret with jet fuel manufacturers, U.S. government agents have carefully kept the massive chemtrail efforts completely under wraps. Snowden added, "I am only revealing this program because there was no oversight in the scientific community, no public discussion, and a little concern for the side effects, which are well known for the few privileged people interested in continuing the decades-long chemtrail program in secret." So he's right about that. I think the disinfo, of course, is that it's to cool the planet. Climate change is a threat to U.S. agriculture, the complex, the industry. It has been labeled a national security issue. So, of course, they go in here with influence cooperation of Monsanto. Secret geoengineering lab dubbed MAUD-DIB has been operating since the late 60s. It says here that this program is basically referred to by insiders as a crown jewel. Contrail watching for kids. So it's actually, its purpose is contrails are long clouds made by high-flying aircraft. Because kids are so good at watching clouds, they can be easily taught to identify contrails. So this is coming from basically the government, NASA chemtrail propaganda for kids. Young children can observe and report on contrails is only a few minutes a day, age range 6 to 10. Because kids are natural sky watchers, they're curious about clouds and contrails. It's likely when contrails are presented that young children will notice and pay more attention to them than adults. Man, this is so sickening. It says they're long clouds of ice crystals caused by the exhaust from the engines and high-flying aircraft. So it's not the crap that they're putting in the jet fuel. It says here, contrails spread into cirrus clouds that reduce sunlight during the day and warm the earth at night. Observe the temperature cooling that occurs when a contrail passes in front of the sun and shades the ground. So, me personally, I'm always observing, and what I observe is when it's like a blue sky and there's puffy white cumulus clouds, it's usually cooler. If it is warm, you go in the shade, it's cooler. But when they're spraying those chemicals, it's almost as if you can't even find cool, even in the shade, you can't find it. It's like you're being pressure cooked from the inside. And there's some serious stuff that they're doing here. So no, I don't buy that. When I see them spraying, it usually indicates that it's warmer, that it's hotter. Die-off of manatees, dolphins, baffles in Florida. Hundreds have died since last July in Indian River Lagoon. So it says pelicans, birds are also hard hit. 111 have perished since last July and have died so quickly they still have food in their mouths. Died from shock and drowning. Pelicans seem to have starved to death. Then you have devastating virus hits hog farms. Baby pigs are dying because tens of thousands of this summer because of a virus that's new to North America, has no cure. Some experts think the number will exceed 1 million. It's a diarrhea virus. Changing climate poses threat to power plants, says U.S. report. So all the geoengineering, it's going to affect the power plants. It's going to, energy. It's going to affect the food industry. The risk of temporary shutdown and reduced power generation as temperatures and sea levels continue to rise and water becomes less available. This is their justification for carrying out this geoengineering that's not occurring, that they're calling for down the road, way down the road in the future. It says Obama said that climate change is happening. As climate change makes the weather more extreme, we have a moral obligation to prepare the country for its effects. So that's engineering your consent. Scientists create artificial human chromosomes, created genetically engineered mice with artificial human chromosomes in every cell of their bodies as part of a series of studies showing it may be possible to treat genetic diseases with a radically new form of gene therapy. That's right. You know, and I went into the Independent article. You'll see what the headline they put. And they put, oh, exclusive, mice and human chromosomes, a genetic breakthrough that could revolutionize medicine. Then you have this, human-animal hybrids, sick and twisted chimeras are being created in labs all over the planet. So extremely bizarre human-animal chimeras. Over the past decade, they've been studying advances in the genetic modification field. Covered this recently. It says here about Japan. It's now possible to grow entire human organs inside animals, systematically growing human organs inside the pigs within 12 months. The goal is to increase the number of organs available for medical transplant. How about that article? That woman was basically woke up. I don't know if they quote thought she was dead. They were harvesting her organs, and this isn't an Israeli, a Jew. This is in America. Well, maybe it was, but it was in America. It wasn't somewhere far off in India or something. So interesting, talking about these human hybrids. Now we're getting into what? The civilization of Atlantis. The downfall of Atlantis started when some of the Toltecs began to practice black magic about 850,000 BC, corrupted by the dragon, remembered as the opponent of Buddha. So here it goes. The people began to become selfish and materialistic. It says here that they started practicing black magic, although they were opposed by white magicians. It says here that black magicians used magical spells to breed human-animal chimeras to use as sex slaves. They also had an army composed of chimeras. They were composites composed of a human body with heads of fierce predators such as lions, tigers, and bears that ate at enemy corpses on the battlefield. It says the war between the white and black magicians continued until the end of Atlantis. So it says here, the masters of ancient wisdom telepathically warned their disciples, the white magicians, to flee Atlantis in ships while there was still time to get out before the final cataclysm. As noted above, the final sudden submergence of Atlantis due to earthquakes occurred 9,500 BC. So weather weapons, there's people that say that theorize that they had weather weapons, and of course they were doing this. So we'll see what's in our fate, right? Man swims 5 hours and rescues family. So it says here they swam 5 hours in rough waters in a bid to save his family members who were clinging to their capsized fishing boat 2 miles offshore, darkness of Tuesday night. So that is crazy. He said he stopped only to rest on a buoy before he reached the rocky coast. He said, I looked around the corner and there was a man standing on my deck. The resident said he kept saying, I just need to save my family. Probably afraid he's going to call the cops on him and he's going to get shot 20 times. U.S. How about that? Guy swims 5 miles to save his family, gets shot 20 times by the cops for trespassing. U.S. Well, he's got to find the humor in this. U.S. wells spilled more oil in 2012 than Exxon Valdez disaster. This is important because they're pushing this Keystone pipeline, and they've already had a couple accidents just in the last month, 2 or 3 oil spills. EU farmers forced to buy imported GM soya, and it says here as EU rules cause non-GM prices to rise. So, no, I don't have any story, it's just a video, but I thought I'd throw it in there, so if you did want to, you could just type that headline in there and you can find it. UK medical doctors call for immediate action against wireless technology. It says there's a growing concern that chronic long-term exposure to these basically radio frequencies and microwave radiation from wireless technologies can cause damage, particularly genetic damage, cognitive damage, cancer, and decreased fertility. 2011, basically a study of scientists and a panel of scientists found that there's substantial evidence of a link between mobile phone use and brain cancer, although the government won't do a damn thing about it and it won't be public, kind of like vaccines and that. Doctors are also encountering a significant and growing number of people presenting with a range of acute short-term symptoms from Wi-Fi radiation, including headaches, palpitations, rashes, fatigue, sleep disturbance, allergies, and memory and concentration problems. But so far, these rulings may take many years to be reflected in public health policy. Talk about international medical agencies recognizing it. It's like Barry Trower said, right, about microwaves and Wi-Fi. He said that, the UN, they're not going to come out until, 2020. when most of the older generations are dying off and get brain tumors or cancer or whatever, and then all the younger generation has grown up with these cell phones to get them used to them, so they can't get rid of them. That's why I said, I mean, I've witnessed it personally, where where one of the kids literally attacked their parents when they took their cell phone away and ran into a cornfield. You know. Then we have this Atlas. It's a DARPA Boston Dynamics humanoid robot. So it's one of the most advanced humanoid robots ever built, developed for DARPA by Boston Dynamics. So it says here that we used the robot to compete in the first physical competition and challenge in December 2013 at Miami Speedway. So they seek to advance the technology necessary to create robots capable of assisting humans in disaster response. Yeah. Okay. Apparently he's like 7'4" and 330 pounds. Superman memory crystal, a 5D nanoglass to preserve data for millions of years. A research group in Britain has recorded data into a crystal of nanostructured glass. The future storage with practically unlimited lifetime and capacity exceeding Blu-ray by 2,800 times might save civilization's data for aliens, and if humankind is gone. That's weird. Australia says Telstra has been storing customer data on behalf of U.S. government for over a decade. They agreed more than a decade ago to store huge volumes of electronic communications that carried out between Asia and America for potential surveillance by the United States intelligence agencies. But it says here they were required to route all communication involving a U.S. point of contact through a secure storage facility on U.S. soil that was staffed exclusively by U.S. citizens carrying a top-level security clearance. The data Telstra stored for the U.S. government includes the actual contents of emails, online messages, and phone calls. NSA code used in Google phone to enhance security. So I guess to say wink wink. The tech giant Google has confirmed that NSA furnished some of the codes installed in a new Android phone. So the agency says the code is intended to enhance security against hackers and marketers, but will not confirm whether it is also aids in the agency's PRISM program monitoring the global internet. Encryption, according to Microsoft, cops and spoofs can access your data. So Microsoft has collaborated closely with the U.S. intelligence services to allow users' communications to be intercepted, including helping the NSA to circumvent the company's own encryption, according to the top-secret documents obtained by The Guardian. 9 months after Microsoft bought Skype last July, the NSA boasted that a new capability had tripled the amount of Skype video calls being collected through PRISM. Yeah, Skype is awesome, man. It's, I'm being sarcastic, that's horrible. Horrible how many times I get cut off with people. It's like our conversation is just being messed with or something. Material collected through PRISM is routinely shared with the FBI, CIA, with one NSA document describing the program as a team sport. So be a good team player. Russian-backed Grishin Robotics invests $300,000 in American nano satellites. So the first global robotics investment company said it's investing in U.S.-based nanosatellite. With the funds raised, the American company plans to enable any person across the world to look into space via the internet for just $250 a week, which is kind of cool, I guess. The revolutionary blood test that could predict how long you'll live, what ailments you'll get, and how fast you'll age. It says chemical fingerprint in the blood could provide clues to health later in life. Man, I liked fireworks when I was a kid, but now I just cannot stand them. 1 million moms protest gender-bending kids cartoon, Shizao. So we've already covered this. Basically, 12-year-old boy who uses magic ring from his dead aunt and key phrase, "You go, girl," to become a crime-fighter female superhero. So it's good, transgender, basically. Then I saw this from Alan Watts' page, Hit and Miss, British television series created by Sky Atlantic. Says here, this Chloe is a transsexual contract killer who discovers she has a child with her former love. She struggles between caring for a newfound family and maintaining her job as an assassin. I think Alan Watt even put it in there as normalizing it, the new normals, which is what they're doing. German soccer fans outrage over sexist ad that portrays female soccer doing laundry. Female footballer seen juggling a dirty football with her feet before chipping it into a washing machine, which is set on leather mode. Former wrestling teammate says the guy in court hearing is not Zarnaev. So they kind of mislead you here. He never said that he wasn't physically him. He just said that he changed, i.e. he's been drugged up, like James Holmes and Lanza. says Zarnia pleads not guilty and blows a kiss, which is interesting because the UK hacking suspect Woolwich blowed a kiss in court as well. Speaking of Adam Lanza and the Sandy Hook thing, each Sandy Hook victim's family will get $281,000. I know it's going to sound heartless, but, you know, what if this is to pay them off to shut up? Thank you.